You can turn a $9 product into a $5,000 sale. I'm going to show you exactly how in this video. But first, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It is the best way to tell YouTube that you want more of these videos and that more people should see them. My name is Arlan. I have invested in more than 200 companies. I've raised more than $30 million, and I've generated millions of dollars for myself and others after being homeless just 10 years ago. And I want to help 1,000 people become millionaires over the next decade, including you. So, this is something I've been thinking about recently because it happens so often in my world that I sometimes take it for granted. But I wanted to tell you how powerful this is. And it's simple too. It's really simple. Almost anybody can do this. So, what I do, I'm going to tell you very plainly and straight to the point. What I do is I sell something for $4 or 5 or 7 or 9. And because the value is so high, because that product over delivers in multiple ways, the person who is looking at the product or using the product automatically wants to do more with me. And sometimes, not every time, but sometimes that person wants to go far. They want to go far fast. And if they want to go far fast, they actually skip the little points in the what we would call a customer value ladder or stair step, right? So you probably have seen where if you take, a picture of a ladder, I've done this myself on this channel, and the first or picture of a stair step. And the first bottom step is something for free. Maybe it's even content like this. And as you go up, it costs a little more for the customer and the value goes higher and higher. And usually you have like 3 to 6 things in this value ladder or stair step. And it could be free content that is helpful to you, like a free tutorial. Then it could be a free lead magnet. So you actually have to spend your email address. You have to exchange your email address to get the information. So now the customer is spending more with their time and effort. And that could be something valuable too. And then there could be maybe a paid lead magnet. Sometimes when we think about lead magnets, we think about stuff that is free, but you can often charge for a lead magnet. So your lead magnet it could be something that maybe you're selling today as a core product. I'll give you an example. I know someone who is selling a $10 ebook. But the problem with that is that they're selling it as their main thing, right? I know someone else who's doing like a $27 ebook, and they're thinking that's the main thing. Even someone who is doing the $9 a month membership or $50 a year that I teach on school, they're using it as their main thing. And that's okay to start, 100% cool to start. The problem with selling a $10 ebook is that you would have to sell thousands of them to reach your goal. Like imagine your goal is 10,000 a month, dollars, right? You'd have to sell 1,000 ebooks per month. So you'd have to get really, really good really fast to reach that goal. So instead of using this as like, oh, this is the core thing that I want to promote people and have people go to, instead use it as a lead magnet. And it just happens to be paid. So for mine, I've done this with a couple of things, but the one that was the $9 was your first 5K, the school membership that I have, where I teach you how to make your first 5,000. And I truly do teach you how to do this. It is absolutely undervalued, underpriced, right? But it was for the first 1,000 people, because there are 2,000 people in it right now, started it just like 5 months ago or so. The first 1,000 people I charged $9 a month or $50 a year or 45 depending on when you came in. Now I only have the $50 per year option. But in those first 1,000, somebody paid $9 to get their first month. They went in and they got so much value out of your first 5K. They made money almost immediately, like within the first few days. It was super helpful. I just told them how to do it and they did it. And then they said, and I can't tell you what exactly they said to themselves, but I would imagine they said to themselves, If this is what I get when I pay $9, I can't imagine what I'll get if I pay 5,000 and join this other program. So this other program is Inner Circle. I have an Inner Circle. It is closed. You cannot join it because we have a 100-person lifetime cap and the cap has been reached. But at the time, it was available. So earlier in the summer, it was available. So I've had multiple people go from spending $9 just to kind of check it out, see what this is all about, to jumping over Arlan's All Access, which is $600 a year, which is itself an incredible program that is open. Jumping over that and jumping over workshops that cost 1,500 to be in the room, etc. And they go right to a 5K product. Now, that is not the highest product I have on my step, but it is very much a core product. It is very much really, really strong core product. So if that can happen with $9, what else can happen? Well, I also have Arlen's Revenue Playbook. It's an independent book that I put out this year, and it's the first of a series of books that I want to put out. And I, of course, have, this published book. It's About Damn Time that's on Penguin Random House. I have Your First Million that is also published on a major publisher. I've have these six-figure book deals, but I released this book on my own because I knew what I could do with it. I knew I could actually make more money with a independently produced book than with a major six-figure, mid six-figure deal. So I put this into a type of a funnel, a website that helps you not only buy the thing, but then upsell. You can do an order bump where they're going to spend the version of it that's available is the audio and the ebook bundle. And that's because I'm no longer printing them at this moment, right? I'll print more later. $4. Spend $4 on that, but when you're checking out, before you check out, it actually says, do you want to buy this $47 thing that'll make this even better? It's like a course that's been added, etc. So I add that. Speaking of courses, I'll come back and tell you the punchline here. I have just opened up my courses and done a sale. I'm doing a sale as of today, as of right now. If you look at the link in the bio, I'm sorry, in the description, or if you go to stan.store/Arlan, my first name, you will see that all of my courses are on sale at crazy amounts. None of them are over $97. So all of them normally are I would say between $100 and $500. Now I've done a sale across all of my courses that are under 97. We even have a $7 course because I want you to get this information and I want you to do really well with it. And then I want you to ascend to my other products. So you get to have this information. I mean, I built out these courses. They're major, major courses. Any one of them could be a major launch, but I'm giving this sale away so that a bunch of people will get it. A bunch of entrepreneurs like you will get it. You'll get some value out of it, and then perhaps you'll want to join me in other places. So make sure you look in the description below because I won't have this deal for too much longer. Now, with the $4 product I was talking about, remember we're talking about that book that I have, my revenue playbook. You could say, oh, okay, it's $47 for this and $17 for this. And so what ends up happening is that the average cart value is no longer $4. It's now 25, 30, or even more. Some people, when you not only do the bump sale, but you order bump, but you also do an upsell that's like $200, $300, $500, you can get your average cart value up to like $100 or more. So imagine you're doing that. You're actually sending paid ads and free content that way, and you're actually making more, especially if it's not a physical product that you have to deliver and ship. So if it's a digital product that you're able to do this with, I've seen average cart values of some experts of like $400, right? So that's a really cool way. But what happened here is that when the first, again, thousand or so people bought the book, and at the time it was the physical book, I put out an offer where I you could get you could go with me to my suite at Beyonce's tour in Los Angeles, and you could get filmed where I you can do like a VSL, video sales letter. You can get content in a beautiful studio environment where I produce it and direct it for you, and I'm there directing on site. And you have 2 hours to kind of do your thing, and we kind of work on it. And it was all kind of bundled into, I think it was 2,500, which is a steal, like absolute steal. The it probably should have been like a $10,000 thing. It was really, really great. But 2,500 is not a small amount of money. Well, I had people from that book list actually jump and do that. They weren't in my memberships. They weren't over here taking a course. They were just like, oh, I have been told that that thing is happening. I like this particular deal. I'm going to fly out and go to that and do that thing because it's awesome. By the way, if you want me to do more like that, like where you go with me to a suite for something really awesome, and then we also do some filming, let me know. Okay. But point of all of that is $4 or $5 product ascended to $2,500 product. That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts. So this is something you can think about doing. What is it that you have already that's either you're either selling it for really, really cheap and you're hoping that that'll make you millions, or it is something that's like a lead magnet that you could put into some sort of a process where people get to know you. Like, in other words, you are probably not giving away enough for free or low cost because you probably think that that's giving away everything. But you want to get volume with the low cost and free so that the few people, the few percentage points of those people who really, really want to work with you further can do so. And you also want to have higher and higher cost offers. Now, I am teaching 100 people, up to 100 people, this whole process. We're in week 2 of it as I record this. It's a 100-day sprint. We're going to end 2025 with a bang. If you're watching this in 2026, we're probably doing it again. But we're doing this and I'm teaching them. Week 1, we got our offer together. Now, week 2, which we're in right now, is all about the sales page process, which is exactly what I'm talking about, which is exactly where you go from just having one or two things that you offer and they're kind of okay offers, but it's like, why would people want to jump on that? To, I know exactly the 1, 2, 3 that I'm offering. They're all aligned. They're all the same product, but they're just delivered in a different way. They cost a low amount, a mid amount, and a high amount. And I know how to get someone to start at the low amount and ascend through or even skip a step. That's what we're learning. So whether you get the courses that are in the description below that are on sale, I want to meet you where you are. So whether you're getting those and you're doing it for yourself, you're reading it, but you're implementing it. You have to watch these videos, but you have to implement what you learn. Or you want a little shortcut, fast track, skip the line, come to the sprint, and we'll do this together. And we'll do it within 100 days where I can just set you up and show you exactly what to do. In fact, there are people in the sprint who already know what they're doing 7 days in. It didn't even take the 100 days. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about that because no matter what you're doing, you can always optimize that. Think about, do I have an offer that costs a high amount so that if somebody wants to skip the line and have more access to you, have faster results, have a more premium experience, they can. If you're only selling a $10 ebook and it stops there, you're missing out on so much. You're leaving so much money on the table. And we don't want that to happen.